Welcome to Uncle Jay Got to Say. This is Uncle Jay. I did a video earlier about first date expectations, and this is kind of a part two to that, kind of a summation, bringing it all together. So in first date expectations, we talked about who's going to pay for the date, okay? And just because you get asked on a date doesn't mean that the person does the asking is the person does the paying. You need to have that conversation about who's going to pay for the date, whether one person's going to pay or whether it's going to be Dutch. Each person pays for themselves. You need to have that conversation. Don't play the assumption game on that. Two, you need to also talk about what you're going to do on the date. That way you're prepared for it. That way you dress for it. That way you know whether or not you're going to do an activity that requires you to get a little physical, or whether you're going to just go to somewhere, like go to the movies, or whether you're going to go watch a game. You need to talk about that, the way you dress properly. Now, I say that in some cases, people go on dates after work. If you worked 8 hours, 10-hour days, you may not want to go to a physical activity like play putt-putt golf, or you may not want to go for a walk. You may not want to go for a hike. You may not want to do anything active because you're tired. So it's a good idea to talk about this stuff ahead of time, before the date. That way you're as prepared as possible. All right. Another thing is to talk about when you are spending the money. Let's say you're going to go on a date and you're the person who asked someone out on a date and you're the person going to pay. It's okay to explain your money. It's okay to be transparent with your money. It's okay to say that because people have expectations. They have the expectation that if I'm not paying for it, I can get what I want. I can order what I want. It's okay to say, hey, this is the first date. I'm just trying to get to know you better. We're going to go and do X, Y, Z. Okay? If they agree to it, they agree to it. If you're down on your luck and your money's not that great, it's okay to say, hey, I want to take you out. I wanted to ask you out for quite some time. I'm glad you agreed to go out with me. But money's a little tight right now. So this is what I think we can do. We can go do this. We can go do that. We end up here. If here is McDonald's or Burger King or some low price, in today's time, that's not even low price anymore. McDonald's is $15 a person. So whatever it is you're going to do, if they agree to it, they agree to it. I think one of the problems is that people have expectations. They want 5-star dates. And the person doing the asking, the person said, I'm going to do the paying, hasn't told them what they're going to do. You don't need to surprise people. Just let them know. We're going to go to Olive Garden. I'm on a budget. We're going to go to, this place or that place. If they agree to it before the date, you're good to go. If they got a problem with it, then work out something before the date as to what you're going to do. But spend within your means. If you're not a 5-star dater, don't do that on the first date. Don't do it. Don't try to shell out hundreds of dollars to impress somebody. Yes, people are impressed by money. I get it. But that's not what this is all about. This is about getting to know the person, to determine whether you want to go on a second date. Is there a future for this person and you and this person? That's what this is all about. So keep that in mind. It's about getting to know a person. And it should not be about you spending lots of money to do it. It should not be about that. If that's what the other person expects, fine. Then you're learning something. You're learning that money is very important to them, and this may not be the person for you. Okay. Now, a little caveat I want to say is that when you go on a date, always take money. I don't care if the other person's doing the paying. Always take your own money. You never know what can go wrong. You never know that car may break down. Or you may, it may end badly. You may get to a point where you're ready to ditch them or they're ready to ditch you. You need to have your own money. Have your own Uber money. Have your own, if you can't take your own transportation, maybe they're picking you up and taking you somewhere, always have your own money. I don't care if it's just $2.20. I don't care if you're broke and you don't have $100 in your debit card, take that. I don't care if it's a credit card you don't like to use, take it anyway. Never go out on dates without your own money. You don't know what could go wrong. Always take your own money. You never know. You may not have to spend it, but have it just in case. All right. Another thing is I did mention expectations. Have an idea of what you expect at this date. If you expect to get a good night kiss, you may not get it. If you're expecting sex, come on now. But if you met on a hookup site, still you need to have that conversation. You need to talk about it. You need to allude to that. You need to bring it up. You need to know where this person is, because sometimes you may head that way and you may not. But don't have expectations you haven't talked about. Have the conversation before you have the expectations. Okay? So that way you end up where you want to be and you're both on the same page. All right. Now, another little thing I want to mention is that to people who have been asked on dates and they've already been told that the other person's going to pay for the date. Okay? When a person pays for a date, they have their own expectations. Okay, they have expectations that you're not going to spend too much money. They have expectations that you're going to be gracious and you're going to show gratitude, not attitude. Okay, that's what they have. If I'm paying for someone, I expect gratitude, not attitude. Okay, I may think a first date is a simple restaurant. You may not. Okay, that's why I say have the conversation ahead of time. Have the conversation up front. Have the conversation so you know that you're both on the same page when it comes to the activities, the dress code, where you're going to go, what you're going to eat, what you're going to do. Have that conversation up front. It is okay to talk about these things. Get it out in the open so that the other person can't say, oh, I thought we were going to go do something else. I thought we were going to do that. You talked about that before you got to the date. It's very important that you do that. And in today's time, being transparent, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, better safe than sorry, as I say. But for the young ladies out there and for the young men out there who are being asked on dates and the other person's doing the paying, when a person's spending too much money on you, they expect something in return. Okay? If they're spending $200 or $300 for a dinner date, they sometimes expect you to provide the dessert. So think about it. As a person spending too much money, they brought you 2 dozen roses. They brought you jewelry. They're spending hundreds of dollars on the date itself. They will expect something in return. Okay? If you're not willing to give something in return, then maybe you want to turn down all these gifts. That's back down a little bit, because I'm not willing to give you more than my time sitting at this table, standing up, sitting up, and that's it. So be very mindful. People don't just dole out money for something to do with their time. They have expectations of their return. If they are, as I said, they put money into an investment, they expect some return on that investment. So understand. Don't be foolish. Don't think that someone is thinking you're so attractive, they want to spend all this money just for something to do with their time. No. They're doling out money, putting something into an investment, they expect something in return. So keep that in mind as well. So first date's about getting to know a person to determine whether or not you have enough energy, enough attitude, enough vibe to take it to another date, to determine whether this person is going to be a good fit for your life, what you need right now, and where you're trying to go. Be open, be honest, have the conversation, move beyond texting, move beyond, connecting online to actually connecting face to face, vis-a-vis. You want to get to know a person. You want to get to know the real person, not their pocketbook, not their wallet, not just the money, not just the car they drive, the clothes they wear, the cologne or perfume they wear. You want to get beyond all that stuff. You want to get to know the person themselves so that you can determine whether you want this person in life as a friend, you want to move beyond the friendship, you want to move on to something long term. You need to know this thing. So the only way to know this is to go on the date and to be yourself, be honest, put your best foot forward. If you have shortcomings, play it off, okay? But don't lie about it. Don't lie about things that can make or break a relationship, any relationship, including a friendship. Don't lie about it. Don't lie about your job. Don't lie about your money. Don't lie about where you live. Don't lie about your expectations. Be honest, be open, be real, and have a good time. Well, that's all Uncle Jay has to say on expedition of first dates. And I hope that many people are taking some inspiration and some information from someone. And, I hope these are skits I'm seeing online and not the real deal, that people are actually going on dates and bringing, parents and bringing children and buying food for the household. I hope this is just a skit. I really do. I hope it's just someone having fun and getting noticed online. But until then, I thank you. If you like my channel, leave a comment. Am I right? Am I wrong? Hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you can see more content. I'm new to YouTube, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.